Hello. I wanted to take a chance. This is a patient from my own practice who we saw, and I wanted to kind of show us the power of 3D imaging. So in our office and in many offices, we're taking 4 bite wings and a Panorex. In our case, our Panorex also happens to be a 3D scanner. So we have some more abilities with it than the normal person with the Panorex. So oftentimes what we're seeing is patients don't complain about things that may be going on because necrotic teeth oftentimes don't have any discomfort. Here's our patient with the Panorex here. And as we can see, based on this Panorex, everything looks pretty reasonable. The bite wings don't show anything. And, you guys see all these bite wings. You're not seeing the apex of teeth in bite wings. And oftentimes we're not seeing any periapical areas. So oftentimes we're relying on the patient's response or what they're telling us, or are they having pain? How many times we ask patients, are you having any pain? And we condition our patients that only times that we need to have things done are when we're having pain. So this lady came in, yeah, nice young lady. She's about 34, 35 years old. And, again, we went through the process, everything, and everything looked great. I mean, she wasn't complaining of any discomfort. Obviously, we do need to take number 30 out, no question about that. Um, but one thing we did was she was due for a Panorex, so we took our Panorex, and then we always go through the 3D volume. And what we saw when we went through the 3D volume was something a little bit different. And by that I mean, here we can take a look. This is the multiplanar radiology view, and here we are, we're looking down from the top of the head, and what we can see here is as we get into the sinus, what we can see, and this is the patient's right side here, this is the left side, and we can see, whoa, what's going on there in the sinus? So we can make a comparison of this patient's right sinus to the left sinus. Now, what's going on? Let's take a look at that also from a front back view. And again, here's our patient's right side, right there. And again, we can see there's a tremendous difference in the sinus between the right side and the patient's left side. So my antennas go up, and I'm like, whoa, what can be going up? In this case, my hygienist's antenna went up when she sees this because they do the initial review of the scan just to showcase to the patient what kind of technology we have. And she saw this difference, and we pointed out to the patient. And the patient said, yeah, I've got sinus issues. It's been there forever. I've talked, blah, 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 the standard answers. And when I see sinus issues that go all the way down to the floor of the sinus, one of my first things that I want to look at is this odontogenic in origin? Is this tooth related? So we decided to take a closer look at the upper right hand side, and when we go to our panoramic view, what I do is I'll double click on tooth number 2 here, and we can go through this volume and we can start to see that, wait, maybe there is something going on here. And what I want to showcase here today for you is a closer look at this from the mesial-distal. So let's go back here, and now we're walking from the distal of number 2 forward. Okay, we're walking from the distal of number 2 forward. So now we go forward. As we go forward, everything looks good. We can see the sinus floor intact, 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 and then suddenly our sinus floor is no longer intact right there. So just to show you guys what I'm talking about, right here, our sinus floor goes missing. This leads me to believe that there is something going on right there that could be causing this issue. Now, if we go to the tooth, now this is looking at it from the buccal to the lingual. Okay, as we go through the tooth, suddenly everything looks okay, 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 and then boom, right there again. Let me just show you guys this properly. Sinus floor missing. Leads me to believe right there. You guys see how everything looks intact right here? So this is not related to tooth number 3, but again related to tooth number 2. So we immediately told the patient, showed the patient what we're seeing here, and recommended endodontic treatment, a 2-stage endodontic treatment for tooth number 2, place some calcium hydroxide in there, try to get some antibiotics, get this under control. And it's amazing. The patient was like, wow, thank you so much. And this is how we build practices. This is how you create a unique experience. This is how you make patients, and this is how you make use of the technology and how you have your team make use of the technology. So hopefully this was able to help you and show you how we can use 3D imaging in our practices.